Hello guys, welcome back to Let's Talk ASEAN. This is a special podcast brought to you by Majlis Belia Malaysia, which is the Malaysian Youth Council, and this is a podcast for the ASEAN youth by the Malaysian youth. So basically, normally we talk about ASEAN issues surrounding ASEAN countries, Southeast Asian countries. But today it is a very special episode as we are at Sasana Kijang in conjunction with the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Forum 2025. And I am here joined by three amazing people with me. I am so excited to introduce you guys, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you. So it's going to be more interesting instead of me talking all the time, right? All right. So maybe we will start with you, Renee.
Okay, hi everyone. I am Rene. I'm still a student, but soon I'll be graduate. Currently, I'm still learning a lot of things. But I've been volunteering since 2022. Mostly my volunteering program conducted in rural area, especially in my hometown in Southeast Sulawesi, Indonesia. So,
Interesting to know your journey, Renee. Thank you so much. And what about Kunat?
Hi, my name is Kunat. I'm from Thailand. So currently I'm a manufacturing engineer in the food factory, but also I'm a part-time kayaker who passionate in the sustainabilities. I love to go out and so also like pick up some trash from the ocean, from the river, and also do some like sustainable tourism. Also, I was a scout member also.
Oh, interesting. So you must know how to do the tying.
Yeah, I
and
love
stuff.
it.
Oh, you must teach me after this. And we have Masha from Singapore.
Hi everyone, my name is Mashuk. I'm from Singapore. I just graduated from Temasek Poly. I study in hospitality and tourism. So I've been volunteering since 2020. I'm really passionate about children and seniors. So whenever I get a chance to volunteer, I always do it on the weekends and always like to meet like-minded people, to connect as well as to like really learn from others and be inspired by them as well.
Oh, I love that last sentence. Be inspired. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. And also, I would like to introduce myself. If you forgot me, I am Debbie. I am from the Malaysian Youth Council, and we will start this podcast. So, I love all of your background. You come from different background, engineering, tourism, and also you're still studying, right? So, today we are at Sasana Kijang today, for the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Forum, right? So, I want to know, what made you to sign up this event? Because this is an open event where you can sign up for it, right? So, I want to know what inspired you to specifically apply for this event, to be here today at Malaysia. Maybe we could start with Kunat.
So like first of all, we have to thank to the organizer for this event to clear this event. The reason I joined this one because I think that it's an event that we can find out a lot of people that like have our same like mindset or the thing that we try to contribute to the society together. And when we like meet up together, we can clear something better for our like communities. That is why I think it's a good chance for me to like explore the world and make a new plan.
I see. Exploring the world and make a
New
thing. Oh, interesting. What about Mashuk?
For me, I like to thank NYC and Youth Corps Singapore for this opportunity. It's really I'm really grateful for the opportunities because I get to meet like-minded people, like the way they share with me, because everyone here are from different countries and we get to share some insights that I'm not aware of before this program. So it's really like an eye-opening experience, I would say. Yeah.
May I know what is one of the things that you already, like maybe something that you didn't know before, but you learned through this program, that you were saying something that you didn't know maybe
Like
previously.
okay.
Yeah. Because you meet people from a lot of different background, right?
Correct.
So maybe maybe you were studying tourism and then you come here. Because like in the forum today also we have
Yes.
a lot of different I would say themes that we are touching on, tech and everything. Maybe what particularly intrigues you out of your own I would say what you're currently doing?
I'm not sure about that.
Maybe
Yeah.
after this you will.
Okay.
Because we still have more sessions, right? Because I think maybe when you mingle around more, today we have like around 500 people, if I'm not mistaken, guys. So I think you will have the chance later to, mingle around and maybe you will find something new to venture in, right? What about you, Renee?
Okay. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for the Ministry of Youth and Sport of Indonesia. Because without them, I may be not being here. Yeah, the reason why I want to sign this program, it's because I think it's aligned with what I'm currently interested in. Um, I volunteering in rural area, mostly in Southeast Sulawesi. I teach children, especially English, and teach them how to read because the rate of literacy in Indonesia is still very high. Therefore, when I see this program is going to be held in Sabah and Sarawak, in which Sabah also we are going to go to the village, and also I think there's a program that we are going to kindergarten. So yeah, I think it's going to be light. That it will be very useful for me when I'm going to come back to my hometown.
That's very good because like I totally relate to you. I mean like I am happy that you know more about Sabah Sarawak. Actually, even I have volunteered in Sabah Sarawak. I think we share the same issue of digital literacy, not only just digital literacy, even English. I think yeah, it's definitely something that we could learn from each other, and maybe you can bring back those things, and I also maybe can bring back those things back to my own projects. And that's very interesting point of view for you to sign up this event, because for your information, guys, all of them will go to Sabah and Sarawak to volunteer after today's program. Which Sabah or Sarawak? Which states are you guys assigned to?
I'm in Sabah.
Sabah.
So do I.
Sabah as well.
Sabah.
All three of us
Oh,
from Sabah.
boleh ba kalau kau. No, let me teach you guys
Okay.
one phrase that you should know when you go to Sabah. I'm half Sabahan.
Okay.
So it's a very common phrase. So normally it's mean like you can something like that. So boleh ba
Boleh
Boleh
ba?
ba?
kalau kau.
Kalau kau.
Kalau
Boleh ba kalau kau.
Boleh ba kalau kau?
Yes,
Wow, okay.
see, they are ready. I'm sure. Even though I didn't get the chance to go to Sabah with them, I'm sure you guys will enjoy because Sabah has very scenic views, and you guys will enjoy an escape from a city. Because today you are in Kuala Lumpur, and then you will go to Sabah, so it's a two different vibe. Maybe later we can catch up on which kind of vibe do you prefer, right? All right. So moving on. So like so you guys were sharing like how you guys are involved maybe in education, volunteering with seniors and students, etc. So like can you describe like the level of like your youth volunteerism in your own country? Like how deeply involved are you in the grassroots movements or in the policy making in the volunteering area, I would say. Anyone could start if you have done so.
Okay, I can start
Okay.
first. Okay, so in Singapore, volunteerism is quite a huge thing, I would say. Like we will really collaborate with schools. Like the agency will collaborate with schools and make sure that we get all the volunteers through certain programs. For example, like youth expedition project, where they can travel to different countries, like for example Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia, to really do a community service learning at that specific country. Another way is we rally the volunteers to do good in the society. For example, like you can teach digital literacy to the seniors, or you can even like teach low income children to about numeracy programs, which I was part of when I was doing volunteering. Yeah.
So you're passionate about digital literacy and also numeracy?
And seniors and children.
Seniors and children.
Yeah.
So what are the maybe example of programs that you were volunteering in?
So for example, the first program I ever joined was the Kids Count at Bedok.
Okay. Oh, Bedok.
Yes, Bedok.
Oh,
Yes,
very
Kids Count
familiar.
at Bedok and Boon Lay. So the Boon Lay was the first one. Okay, Boon Lay is like a town in Singapore. So where we will meet every Saturday morning
Okay.
to teach about numeracy to children aged 7 to 9 years old, like primary 1 to primary 3.
Okay.
Yes, and then we will teach them about numeracy in a more fun manner, like a team curriculum. Yeah, so every year the curriculum will be a bit more like streamlined, like make it more fun for the children to really like pay attention, and like it's not really a tuition center but more like a fun way that the children can like learn about numeracy. Yes, and I did that project for 2 years.
Okay.
Yes, and then I moved on to doing volunteering for seniors, where I teach them how to use the phone, like simple settings, how to use WhatsApp, how to call their friends, because it was COVID like pandemic at that time. So WhatsApp was a very huge thing, and to teach seniors how to use video call, it was like a privilege, so that they can connect with their friends while they're at home, so they don't risk themselves being exposed to those
Scams.
scams
my
and virus.
Oh, that's very interesting. I think that's something that personally I'm also concerned about. I have quite old parents, but generation is changing. The needs to use the digital phone, it's very sometimes when a lot of us are quite busy, sometimes it's not that we cannot attend to our parents. Sometimes those classes, the programs that you were telling, I think it's very important. There is a big gap, especially for senior citizens, the digital literacy for seniors. I think that's a great initiative by you. Thank you so much for doing that. I think that's something that maybe we could take Singapore as an example, right? Thank you so much for sharing. Maybe what about Kunat? Maybe what is your level of volunteerism involvement in Thailand?
Let's say I think I'm in somehow a front line, because as I say, I'm right now I already work and I do the part-time instead, like a kayaker. But back then during high school, I also do the scouting. That's one is the beginning of my journey about the volunteer, because it helped me because their scout association in Thailand is kind of big. So we have to done a lot of their volunteer for community service or for the environment section. And that is a thing that created my interest in their helping the community actually in about their environment. So during the COVID situation, I don't have a thing to do. So I know some people that love kayak also as my hobby also, right? So we think why don't we just find something to do that's good for environment, and we can go chilling out in Indonesia also. That's their starting point, that we go to the ocean, to the sea, to make some their fish habitat, or picking up some trash, something like that. And we still do it till this day. So actually there are a lot of the volunteer thing that they have right now in Thailand, but we still need some more sponsor support from a lot of people NGO or the government sector, which is I think is a challenging thing for Thailand in the future.
I see. I think Thailand is very famous for their beautiful, beautiful beaches. And do you think you said, right, you were involved in beach cleanups and everything. Do you think it's a big threat in Thailand?
I think yes, because as you mentioned, beach or their nature is one of the things that make the tourists come to Thailand. So if we able to clean it up, if we make sure that it will help it look better, it will help a lot of their people to come in Thailand. So it help in both of the economic way and also environmental way.
I see. That's very interesting, because sometimes I feel maybe I don't know. When we talk about doing volunteerism, we think about maybe the short-term effect, where we feel okay, if we do today, people are going to throw rubbish again. So what's the point of doing it, right? But hearing that you said Thai youths are actually very passionate about volunteering and caring about this thing, because they think about the long-term effect, where they think about how tourism market is going to work, and it's going to affect how tourists is going to come to our country. That's very progressive of Thai youths. Very amazing, guys.
Thank you.
And what about Renee? In Indonesia, how in which level are you currently in volunteering?
Maybe I'm quite different with Makshuk and Kunat. Especially in my hometown and in Sulawesi, Indonesia. The volunteering level is in there is still not as big as in Singapore and in Thailand, but it's still growing. I think it's because most Indonesian people still have less awareness towards that these people need us, or these people still lack of education and etc. But I think it's also affected by the geographical landscape of Indonesia, because if you want to go to volunteer, you need to move from an island to an island, for example, and even you need to climb a mountain, for example, just to get to that village. So yeah, that's why there are a lot of obstacles that if you want to be a volunteer in Indonesia. So yeah, that's why I think. But it doesn't mean most people in Indonesia don't want to be a volunteer. They still want to be a volunteer, of course. But yeah, still there are still a lot of obstacles that we need to manage.
That's very inspiring. Actually, when you said about like challenges are still going to be there, but those who decide to go over that, beyond that, and still volunteer, those are the golden people that we need to, praise, I would say. And I believe you're one of them. So you said about like, sometimes you have to climb over mountains. I personally have been in Sulawesi Selatan, and I totally get you when you said like you have to go through mountains and everything. So have you done any projects in these rural areas that you are talking about?
Yeah. I've been involved in volunteering. There's an island called Namu in Southeast
Namu.
Sulawesi. That island, we don't have access off-road to go there. We have to take a small boat to go there. It takes like an hour to be able to go to Namu Island. Yeah. The problem is when you want to go to Namu Island is that you have to face a big wave.
Oh, a big wave.
Yeah.
Oh, so you went through that,
Yeah.
and that was your biggest challenge?
We can't. For me, I don't know how to swim.
Yeah,
But
same. Honestly, when I hear you say wave, I was like, myself, I can't swim. That's quite scary.
yeah, so yeah, it scares me a lot. But yeah, I know they still need me and all of the members of the community.
Damn, that's very inspiring, guys. I am actually speechless. So, okay, so you reached the community, right? So, what kind of projects are you actually doing there?
We sometimes like brings a lot of books to go for the schools there because it's very hard for the access for those community to buy books in the city, and also we also help the teachers there to teach, especially for me, I teach English for those children, and also learn 5 to 6 years old how to read, because there's no kindergarten there. You just go to primary school after you're 7 years old, but kindergarten is very important for your development.
Yes.
So yeah, that's why we have to help them.
Wow, amazing, Renee. I think I like the point when you mentioned that sometimes, the conventional school can provide you to a certain extent, but also unconventional school efforts by NGO, or I would say community-based volunteerism plays a big part, especially in like I would say not primary, like in kindergarten, 5 to 6 years old, where it's the development process of actually learning and moving towards the conventional school is a very important phase. Then I think you played a very big part. So thank you so much for doing that. I'm really amazed when you said like you go through the waves. Honestly, I'm scared because I cannot swim. So that's a really, really big thing, Renee. Okay. So so all of you, right? You have, I would say, like have your own niche of volunteering, right? So obviously also to a certain extent we cannot generalize the level of participation of youths in volunteerism for all countries, right? But why do you think actually volunteerism is important for youths to be involved in today? So because like maybe we have volunteers, but are they consist of youth mostly or not? So why do you think it's important for youths to be involved in volunteerism? Anyone who have the answer? Go for it. Maybe Kunat, I think you have something to say.
Yeah, maybe for me it's like volunteering is a thing that really the thing that can create awareness for people to help the community, the society. So like if we talk about like a long-term investment, if you're able to let the youth to like what is called like contribute into their society, doing some volunteer stuff for people, for like community, local people, or even like the environment, as I mentioned before, is to help people to think that the youth, they will think like, oh, we do this one, it's good for our society, good for our environment. So we'll still like continue doing it like in the long term, long run, it will help their cities or like their country going to be better. Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, youth are indeed the future. Yeah, right. Because like if they start earlier, that's when they can contribute a long-term goal, like you said. Because it takes an early baby steps to make a bigger step, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kunat. Maybe Mashuk, I think you are already there
Yes.
already. Yes. Okay.
So for me personally, when I started volunteer, I was really like a very self-centered person because I'm the only child. So whenever I do some things, I don't really share with anyone, right? So when I start doing volunteering opportunities, it really like broadened my perspective. It helps me to really understand others, like other people, because all of us are from different walks of life, different characters and morals. So as I volunteer, I get to really learn about empathy as well as kindness. Like how a small gesture, like what the panelists shared earlier, a small gesture can make a huge impact in someone's life. And that really can spark one person to be the change maker into the society. So that really was such an inspirational thing.
That's true. If we want to, I would say, like you said, right, want to start an effect, one must start it. And in this case, youth are actually the catalyst to that, I would say, wave of change, right? Okay. So when you said like, I would say Singapore and Thailand, there's quite a good number of youths volunteering and involving themselves in this area, right? So like maybe Renee, you mentioned, right? Maybe because of the big challenges that volunteers in Indonesia might go through to volunteer itself, it might make them hesitate to, volunteer. So maybe what do you think like actually ASEAN countries or maybe Indonesia or other countries think that could do to make that awareness of volunteering increase so that there's more people volunteering for their country?
Yeah. I think the most important thing that the ASEAN countries can do is through campaign, especially online campaign, for example. I think that's the simplest way to do. Yeah, like Kunat say that we need to raise the awareness for the people as they can see, oh, there is a problem in this place. There is a problem in this village. So yeah, they cannot, like for example, solve their problem by their own because they don't have the privilege. They don't have any other tools to manage their problems. Therefore, as us that have the privilege, I think, yeah, like Masyuk said, it is like your empathy to, to help them at the very least to, share what you know.
I see. I think that you were saying like sometimes we have privilege, but we often not look at it as a potential to like give back. It's not like we sometimes we feel insecure or we think we don't know much to share to people, right? So like when you said like it's important to start with what you have and what you can. That's a really important point to make youth get involved more. Also awareness, especially in certain rural remote areas, you don't know what's actually going on there, but at least if there's awareness of the issue itself, that might create a spark in them to actually care about it, right? So yeah, very interesting answers, everyone. And let's take a short break, and when we are back, we'll get to you back with more interesting questions, and for every one of them, stay tuned. And this is Let's Talk ASEAN.
Today we are here to learn from each other in this youth volunteer forum. There is a greater need and a greater sense of urgency now to equip our young people in the face of climate change, in the face of disasters that can happen to this region. Our young people must be equipped to move and to mobilize. It is wonderful to actually have this spirit of volunteerism at a young age. Can I tell you that to offer your service, an act of service without expecting to be paid or without expecting anything in return, that's not commonly found in a lot of people. Some people come with hidden agendas, some people come with different expectations. Some people do work to be expecting to be paid, but to be a volunteer and to do it wholeheartedly and to do it willingly, that's not common, especially in today's world.
Welcome back to Let's Talk ASEAN. This is a podcast by the Malaysian youth for the ASEAN youth. So, we've come back after the short break that we had. So, I had very interesting conversation with all of them. And, okay, so when we talk about like volunteerism, right? And again, when we talk about everyone has different niche, right? So you do beach cleanups, you do volunteering for numeracy, and also for digital literacy for seniors, and also you do go out, or I would say outreach to the rural areas to give them education awareness, especially on English and everything, right? So every single one of you have your own niche of volunteering. So like but maybe not everyone can do what you can do for volunteering, right? So maybe what are the reasons that you think youth are still not interested to volunteer in your own countries? Maybe not.
I can
Yeah, of
say
course.
okay because for my country it's mostly because it's a like the high cost of living is very high. Like the living cost is very high. So what they tend to do is instead of volunteering, they will find part-time jobs where they can earn money to support their family and support the living expenses that they have to pay by themselves, or like to sustain themselves in the longer run. Yeah, because most of the youths that I've met, or like my friends even, whenever I ask them, hey, why are you not volunteering, they will just say that, oh, because sometimes they say parents do not allow. Like the parents want them to focus on their studies because academic is important, right?
Yes.
So they rather spend time on that. Or another one is they rather like do something that they are more passionate about by going out with their friends, or do something they prefer, like maybe go cycling, or be like I have a lot of like friends who like to go to the gym. Yeah, so they rather do that than volunteering.
I mean, actually, volunteering also technically is a free gym, right? But they wouldn't know until they actually try. I think, financial pressure. Sometimes, like I think I observe the same problem even among my. It's not really a problem. It's just conflict of interest. They have different things that they are more passionate for instead of volunteering, right? So yeah, that's a very good point from you when you said that they prioritize more towards like how to they prioritize more like of course lah volunteering. I wouldn't say, maybe sometimes you will get monetary compensation out of maybe I would say consolation and everything, you're spending your time, right? But most of the time you don't get paid. Yeah. So that's an interesting point of view. What about Kunat?
Actually, I agree with her though, because I think in Thailand have the same issue, because people have like different interests, different like their what's called like social status, something like that. So yeah, for me it's a thing that they have to think by the like themselves that they want to do the volunteer. But like as for like the people that I know that they love to do volunteering, it starts from like a small thing that they like or something like they love to do, and it starts to be like getting bigger and bigger and become like the thing that they can say they do it as a volunteer. Yeah.
So you are saying that they just have to keep doing it, then only they learn to love it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, we have a phrase. I think you might know. It's in Malay. Tak kenal maka tak cinta. So basically, it means if you don't know, you won't love it. Yeah. So that's a
like that.
great way to present it. Right. So what about you, Renee? So you mentioned, right? Technically, like it is a big problem in the volunteering community. Where you think most of the youth still face a lot of challenges. So what do you think, other than maybe the challenges that you mentioned just now, what are the biggest other factors that influence their willingness to volunteer?
Oh, okay. So I think there are two major issues in Indonesia why people are interested to volunteering. First is that because there's a narrative that I better to go to work to earn more money instead of helping these people. I think this also happened to Thailand and Singapore.
Yeah.
But also the second one is that there's always a narrative that people that want to go to volunteer must be a nice person, and I'm not a nice person.
Oh, then what are you?
So that's why they prefer to not to go to volunteer, because they think, oh, I'm not kind enough to help them or something else like that. But yeah, I think that's all. Yeah.
Oh, not kind enough to help. Oh.
Because they scared that people have the stigma of them, like because maybe they have the tattoo, then they're like, oh, you're the bad person. Who are you to volunteer? But actually, inside their heart, they really want to volunteer. It's just that they don't want to be judged by the society.
Whoa.
Yeah. Can I add?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, maybe it's also because the romanticization of the volunteering itself. Like, it's because people who go to volunteer always be seen as a hero. You know, like, oh, they help this rural community. They help these marginalized people. So meaning that they they are the heroes of those community. So yeah, I think it will be better to just normalize the volunteerism instead of saying those people are heroes or something else.
Oh, yeah. I think, yeah, it is true. I think like, that's a very good point when you said like stigma, and also you talk about how it's so romanticized. Actually, I think nowadays, especially when we are always on TikTok or social media, sometimes I come across contents romanticizing about volunteering, and I think it's good for awareness, but at the same time, don't over romanticize it to the point that you are actually praising yourself in an indirect way. It is good to spread awareness about volunteering, but at the same time, you're just bragging about yourself. There's a specific way you should maybe post contents to encourage people to do volunteering instead of like, you would know what is your intention when you're posting online, right? Yeah, that's a very good point. And also stigma, when you mentioned Mashuk, I think it's a very important point that you said. Like sometimes I feel I'm not, maybe I'm tattooed. I have a resting face, so people don't think I'm good enough to volunteer. Or when I go to kids, kids don't like me because I have an angry face. I think the first step, again, going back to the baby steps, to start, you won't know until you actually do it, and you won't love it until you actually do it and start it. So yeah, that's a very good point. Stigma, and also I would say. So like so when we talk about like we were talking about what are the factors that I would say affects why people want to volunteer, right? So we mentioned about a lot of money just now. So don't you think like volunteering is just like a form of cheap labor or free labor, and a way for like volunteers to just feel good about themselves? Actually, they're just doing it for the clout. What do you think, that is a thing, or it's just something that people talk about?
For me, I feel like that's what people talk about because there's one time I was going from a camp, like a volunteer camp, and this Grab uncle suddenly said, "Hey girl, what are you doing? Then I was like, I just came from volunteering program, uncle." Then he said, "Wow, volunteering, they just using you, girl." But I was like a bit taken aback, so I'm like a bit shocked. And from there, I started to reflect on myself, like, okay, what am I actually doing this for? And I realized I really love making people smile, like especially children. I mentioned earlier on, I teach numeracy to children, right? So every time they come in, they learn something new, and when before they leave, they'll be like, "Hey, thank you, Kaka," or "Thank you, Cece, for teaching me." That small sentence from these small little cute children, like saying those things, really like brightens up my day and really like brings me back to like why I'm doing this, because I want to make a difference in these lives. Yeah, so. I won't say it's a cheap labor because you're putting in a lot of time, effort, your own energy, your own schoolwork. Like you're using your own free time to do something good for society. Yeah.
So you would say like the fulfillment you get personally when you go for like volunteering, the feedback from the little kids, and sometimes even senior citizens, they hug you, and then sometimes I get overwhelmed as well. Like you said, it's a very I would say self-rewarding, right?
Correct.
It is very self-rewarding. What about you guys? Do you think it's a thing? Cheap labor, free job?
I think it's like depends on their
Person.
intention. Like because volunteering, I think that can open the opportunities for people to do a lot of stuff. Maybe like some people, they said they want to do volunteer because they have a chance to travel around. Like maybe you can go to like a northern part of your country that is hard to access, or like you can use it for like a portfolio to attend their universities
Oh.
or like even something like, oh, you want to do it because it's your own good deed that you want to do it. So it depends on the people intention. But if we taking care about the result, for me it's like, in my opinion, if you just do it and we just check out the result. If it's good, it means it's good for the society.
That's very important. When you said like, it comes back to intentions, right? So like, if one's intention is to volunteering, do you really think when one individual sets their mind that they want to volunteer, do you really think like it can actually make a big impact to the world itself? Do you really think? Maybe Renee, you want to answer that?
Okay. I think there are a lot of people that go to volunteer because they want to create a huge impact for especially for marginalized people
Yeah.
and also people who needs. But I think there are also who want to go to volunteer simply because they just want to do something, not
Okay.
just to create a huge impact or another like a good reason. They just want to do something because both of my friends have told you that it's because of empathy, because they just feel, oh, I can do this. If I let these people get suffered over and over and over again, and I know I can help them, and I choose to not help them, I think I'm just going to be a bad person. That's why I think it will be better if I just help, like, for example, just 1% of your help, it will give, it will very, very meaningful for those community.
I see. When you said like, when you mentioned that, it gives a gist to me that sometimes you might come with a very big intention that you want to change something big in the world, but it's also important to think that I would say do what you can, and that change will ripple, it will multiply, and then that is going to make the big change, right? As I remember, one of the panel just now also was saying like, I think it was from Myanmar, I think she told, one of the panel from Myanmar told that about the starfish story.
yes.
So yeah, so basically, if you guys don't know what was it, so there's actually a panel from Myanmar who talks about how impacts really work. So they took an example of a starfish. So when you pick a starfish, sometimes starfish are on the shore, right? Up to the shore. So you pick up one and then there's more starfish still on the shore. But someone stop over and asked, why are you doing this? This is useless, somehow it's going to be too much to do. But again, when you do something, at least one starfish is going back to the water, is going back to this habitat. But yeah, again, you have to start with what you can and what you have, right? It's very interesting to know your point of view. So okay, so since like all of you guys are also heavily involved in volunteering, but at the same time you're also worried about maybe the future of youth itself, their interest in volunteering, right? What's one message you would want to tell ASEAN youth in general about volunteering and encourage them to volunteer? Anyone can start. Think about it. This is your chance to convince them. What's one strong message you would tell them? Anyone?
Okay, I'll
Okay, Renee,
Yeah.
let's go.
Okay, I think the message for all of the youth that want to join volunteerism or still consider to join volunteerism. I think volunteerism is not just to create an impact. It's okay if your capability can help 1% of this community or the community that needs your help, but it's way more like how to be human, how to really be human. That if you have something in you and you want to optimize that, I think it's going to be better if you join volunteerism.
Thank you so much for the strong message, Renee. Who wants to start first? Kunat or Mashuk?
Maybe me.
Okay.
I think like every action, everything that we're doing always have the result. So even you like or don't like to do their community service, their volunteering, you will have something back from them. Like you will learn something from them. You will take something from them. Even sometimes it might make you feel good or bad, or like you can go further with that one. You will learn from it. You will know yourself more with volunteering. So I would like to convince everyone that just do the volunteer. It will open the gate for you for your future or something that you might find yourself. Yeah.
Ooh, very strong message, Kunat. Volunteering to get to know about yourself. Oh. Okay, what about Mashuk?
For me, I would say just start small, like find what you're passionate about, like either children, seniors, persons with disabilities, or even special needs. Like take your time, know yourself, and maybe join, volunteer to know some skills, like how Dale mentioned, for your own school or like for future employment. It really help you to develop your personal character as well. So just be yourself and just have fun volunteering, and you'll be inspired one day to be really proud of yourself to make a small impact on someone.
Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for the great message. And I want to give a message to you guys also. Just don't doubt it. If it scares you, it is the thing that you should do, actually. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Very short and simple. You think about it. So thank you so much, our panelists, Renee, Kunat, and Mashuk. I hope you will enjoy your stay in Malaysia. And after this, your mission at Sabah, yeah? Boleh bah kalau kau. Remember? Boleh bah kalau kau.
Boleh bakal kau.
Again.
Again.
Okay.
Boleh
bah kalau kau.
Yes. All right. So yeah, we've reached our episode's ending for today, and we want to again sincerely thank the KBS for sponsoring this episode, and also to all of our amazing speakers from Thailand, Singapore, and Indonesia. Stay tuned for the next Let's Talk ASEAN episode. This podcast is again brought to you by the Malaysian youth for the ASEAN youth. And remember to subscribe us on YouTube and also Facebook and also IG at Bilik MBM. And you can stay up to date with our Let's Talk ASEAN podcast. And if you have further suggestions or questions, please do drop us a message and also comment on our YouTube video. And see you next time for the next Let's Talk ASEAN. Bye!